Armed American Radio's Daily Defense.
Armed American Radio's Daily Defense. Because they don't want me to, that's why I do it.
Presented by X Insurance. X Insurance. From the Sig Sauer Studios. On the Patriot Mobile Platinum Microphone. Here is your host, the loudest conservative voice in America fighting the enemies of freedom, Mark Walters.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Armed American Radio's Daily Defense begins right now. Knocking on the door of the gun grabbers, and they're out there. Trump's in office, but guess what? They're not going away. We're going to read a letter to you in a few minutes from Alan Gottlieb, founder of the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, which I'm a board member of. Also, you know him as the founder of the Second Amendment Foundation. We'll get to that shortly. A lot to cover with you. A number of stories out there today. Lee the Gunwriter Williams will be here momentarily with us. We'll go to him in just a second. But welcome into the Sig Sauer Studios with me, Mark Walters, filling your prescription for freedom today and every day here in the Sig Sauer Studios on this Patriot Mobile mic. And all of it is being brought to you by the great X Insurance. Greg in Dallas, Texas, how you doing, my brother?
Not too bad. Here we are, Taco Tuesday.
I'm sleepy today.
Yeah, okay.
I'm tired today. I'm not going to eat tacos today.
That's fine.
I had a Jersey Mike's small little quarter sub. You ever have one of those?
Yeah, I've had Jersey Mike's.
They're great. But, man, you walk in there and feed a family, it's $80 for 4 subs. It's ridiculous.
Everything is that expensive right now.
And I'm not knocking Jersey Mike's. I like their subs. But
yeah, they got great food.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I get it Mike's Way with mayonnaise. Anyway, I had turkey today. It was pretty good. Greg, if you would be kind enough to tell people where to watch the program on social media and all that fun stuff and where to participate in the chat, we'll get cracking.
Sure, if you want to watch the show, just do a search for Armed American Radio with Mark Walters over on YouTube and Rumble. On X, it's at AAR Mark. You want to join the live chat, just download the Telegram messaging app, create your profile, and search for Armed American Radio Conversations.
Yeah, and don't forget Facebook, facebook.com/Armed American Radio. You can find us there. And make sure to subscribe to us on social media, all those platforms. Please like and share the posts, all that fun stuff. And let's get cracking with Lee the Gunwriter Williams. Lee, my brother from another mother down in Florida. How you doing, man?
Oh, beautiful, man. Happy Tuesday.
Hot and sunny down there, I bet, today, huh?
It's 80. Yeah, it's beautiful. I just
80s.
was out at the dog park with Willa, and it's gorgeous.
Willa, what a great little dog. Tell us about your little dog. She's one of the terriers, right?
She's a Boston Terrier, and she's part ninja.
Part ninja. Huh? That's because she lives with the Gunwriter. A true Is she an investigative terrier? She must be, because you're an investigative journalist. I love that.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
We have to get Willa and Huey together to hang out sometime, you know? That's an excuse for me to come back down to Florida. I'll do that. Little Hoo-Hoo.
Okay.
Or little Shih Tzu. So, Lee, before I go to any of the other stuff, I want to continue the conversation with you on this sailor, this young kid who is now, 3 years into a 20-year sentence? In
almost 3, yeah.
Almost 3 years in, because yet again, you are reporting more information about the rogue ATF, and I love talking about the rogue ATF whenever given the opportunity. What are they up to now, or what did they want to do? Because more keeps coming out about this kid being railroaded. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, this kid's name is Patrick Tate Adamiak. He goes by his middle name, Tate. You know, he was in the Navy, he's an E6 in the Navy, and he had a long-time collector of semi-automatic guns. And he had a website, he sold gun parts. He was really into Macs for a while, until the ATF raided his home, found nothing illegal, but imprisoned him for 20 years. I mean, the dude was about ready to enter naval special warfare. He had a website, sold gun parts until the ATF raided his home. After his show trial, and that's what I call it now, he was sentenced to serve 20 years in prison, even though nothing they found, Mark, was illegal. Well, anyway, Tate was into Cobras, SWDs, and RPB-style Mac guns. All of them were semi-automatic. All were 100% legal. None were capable of fully automatic fire. He had nearly a dozen, including about 5 that fired from an open bolt. They fired semi-automatic from an open bolt. That's a big deal. These are expensive guns. He also, I mean, this kid was totally into it. He bought Mac-style products, Mac knives, Mac marketing merchandise, Mac literature, Mac manuals, Mac, and he also had built-at-home Mac kits known as a Mac flat. A Mac flat is just a pre-cut piece of flat sheet metal which is designed to be bent in a jig or welded to form the lower receiver of a Mac pistol or carbine. But turning it into a firearm is not easy. I mean, it takes a lot of work. You need to know your tools. And he told me he never actually completely built a Mac kit, despite it's 100% legal to do so.
So
all of his flats, all the flats he had were semi-auto builds. They never had the 2 additional holes to make them fully automatic. So basically, think of a flat sheet of sheet metal, piece of sheet metal with some holes cut in it. That's a Mac flat.
Okay, I'm not a gunsmith by any stretch. I'm looking at a photograph of this thing, ladies and gentlemen. You can do that right now if you're not driving. Visit armedamericannews.org while you're listening to Lee and take a look at it. There's a photograph right there on our website. I wouldn't even know what that is. To me, that looks like some kind of bottle opener that you'd get when you order something to join a giveaway. I mean, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he had a lot of them. I mean, I don't know what he was selling them for, $50, $100, because the fun is not buying the, I mean, you buy them, you're in for a world of hurt because it's going to take you a while. Well, anyway, ATF raided his home, as we have said, damn near 3 years ago, and they wanted to charge him with 977 Mac flats, which they considered machine guns. Machine gun.
So the piece that I'm looking at here, this little flat piece of metal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 holes in it, they're calling a machine gun?
Right.
Well, I guess the ATF can do that, right? Because the ATF can define whatever they want to define as anything they want to define it as. And I wonder if that Glock expert who couldn't disassemble a Glock on national TV would even know what this is, let alone what to do with it and what tools it's required.
Well, their ATF firearms enforcement officer, Jeffrey Bodell, who lies big time, claimed, remember, he's the guy that claimed a toy submachine gun, or a toy submachine gun was an actual submachine gun. Mm-hmm. They brought him to court. But this portion, they actually got their defense expert to testify, Daniel G. O'Kelly. He's former ATF. He's a hell of a guy. I've talked to him at length. So he gets up there and he says, no, these are not illegal. These are pieces of metal. And for this, the judge actually sided with O'Kelly over that oh man, I almost said a bad word.
Don't do that
idiot, the ATF Bodell. And they refused to penalize a Domiak for these machine guns, which because they're just pieces of metal. And O'Kelly brought all the case law out. He said, no, these are not subject to anything. They're just flat pieces of metal.
So how much more time would he have gotten?
10 years. He would have got a 30-year sentence, Mark, as opposed to a 20-year. He's on year 3 of his 20-year sentence.
God, every time I talk to you about this, my hair just goes up on the back of my neck. This is so egregious. And I have to wonder, and we've talked about this off air, somebody's got to start something here, okay? Maybe it's got to be us to try to get this kid out. Are you aware of anybody behind the scenes that's working from a large organizational standpoint to try to do that? Or are people just walking away from this? And with a Trump ATF and Bondi, it would seem to me that it wouldn't be that hard to get this looked at. I mean, this has pardon written all over it.
Exactly. I mean, some of the pardons that Donald Trump has given out, the guy's actually committed crimes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this kid
committed nothing.
This kid was going to be a SEAL. He did nothing wrong. Now, granted, President Trump right now, he's kind of busy. He's got a lot of things going on.
I get that. That's okay. But he needs to look at this. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, don't hate me for this. It's tax day. Oh, actually, it's not in Georgia. I got the best news in the world today when I went over to my accountant's office, by the way, just on a quick side note. Yeah, because of the hurricanes in Florida and Georgia, I think you're impacted as well, too, Lee. Your taxes aren't due until May 1st. So I found that out today. I said, oh, thank you. You just made my day. Give me that. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I got 2 weeks to make more money. So somehow, good luck with that. But I got to be honest with you. You would think. I know Trump's busy. I know he's extremely busy behind the scenes. But it just seems to me that, and again, here's why I go with tax dollars, okay? Coming up on a break. I don't mind my tax dollars paying this kid for all of his lost work and time and punitive damages from the ATF. I'd like to see somebody from the ATF in shackles over this, because that's perjury.
Absolutely.
What they've done to this kid is unbelievable. He had nothing illegal. But ladies and gentlemen, it boggles the mind. It just boggles the mind. It really, truly does. You sit and wonder, why and how is this happening in America, where this young kid is doing 20 years of his life for nothing,
15.
for absolutely nothing. We'll be back. Lots to cover with Lee. 3 more segments to go.
10.
Mobile.com/AAR and use the AAR promo code to get free activation today. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. Mark Walters filling your prescription for freedom today and every day, Monday through Friday here in the 6 Hour Studios. Patriot Mobile Mike fired up for you today. As always, X Insurance bringing it to you. You can find all of our great partners at armedamericanradio.com, armedamericanradio.com. And Goat Guns, ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to talk about them. Greg, you're going to want to hear this too. I'm going to hold this up because it was just delivered today. Let's see if you can see this. But that, Greg, yeah, it's a little bit blurry on the camera because of the way it's set to focus. There it is. But that's the RPG. All right, I got another RPG. You can see.
Oh, you had to get a second?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can see the size of this thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the real deal. So I would highly recommend. I'm going to put this thing together as soon as I get off the air today because it's just so much fun to play with. And they're not working. You know, they don't work. That's not a real RPG, of course. It's a toy, but it does toss its little grenade out and everything. It's really cool. These things are super high quality. Goatguns.com. Goatguns.com. Support them and check out their very cool products over there. Every one of these things are licensed by the actual manufacturers. They are the real deal, exact replicas. You put them together. It takes about 10 minutes. Even with my stubby little fingers, I can get her done. So can you. Goatguns.com. They're reasonably priced, and they're a lot of fun. Great for the desk, great for a man cave, great for gifts, all kinds of really cool stuff. Goatguns.com. Make sure to check them out. And all of our partners at armedamericanradio.com. Lee the Gunrider Williams, welcome back in, my brother. So let's keep going here. I was talking with Greg during the break, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that, Greg, you had mentioned what? A new director? You'd like to see what?
I had mentioned I'd like to see a new director step in, take a look at these cases, and see if there's something that they can do in order to rectify justice here.
Yeah, I know they have a full plate, okay? And the new director of the ATF is going to have an awful lot of work to do, likely not even aware of these just egregious cases, Lee. And, we're just going to have to make him aware, right? It's going to be our responsibility to do it, meaning all of us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I hope they do put something out there like you alluded to earlier. If you know anybody who's been hoodwinked and got a bad case from the ATF, contact this number because, brother, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, these guys are not alone.
A lot of. No, not at all.
There's a lot that we're unaware of, most of them, frankly, ladies and gentlemen.
I would agree.
You probably don't even know about most of them, Lee. You just don't. And nobody talks about it. So we'll see what we can do. It's what we do. We'll try to do something here. Let's go to Bondi briefly. Bondi wrote a letter. Well, let me put it this way. Bondi got a letter from Alan Gottlieb. And I'm going to read that letter to you. Let's see if I can pull this up. Here we go. This is a letter that was sent directly to Pam Bondi from Alan Gottlieb, founder of the Citizens Committee and, of course, the Second Amendment Foundation. And the letter was written yesterday, and I guarantee Bondi gets it. They listen to Gottlieb.
Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. He knows Pam. He's got, ears in the White House. Dear AG Bondi, it was with great pleasure that the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms received word April 8 about the formation of the Second Amendment Task Force. Please accept my personal congratulations on what I see as a bold and long overdue move by the Department of Justice to protect one of our most important constitutional rights and the cornerstone of our Bill of Rights. As you may know, the Citizens Committee is one of the nation's largest grassroots organizations with affiliate organizations in most states and members and supporters in every state. That being the case, I would like to suggest that among the task force's priorities might be to examine the patterns of egregious Second Amendment violations in the states of, and I bet you can name them, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to read them to you: California, Colorado, Connecticut, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Washington. All of these states have adopted laws in recent years which have essentially relegated Second Amendment rights to the level of government-regulated privileges. Our sister organization, the Second Amendment Foundation, has been involved in litigation challenging gun control laws in nearly all of those states, and the Citizens Committee has joined SAF in lawsuits most recently in Maryland and Washington. I would be delighted to provide any assistance or input you may need and can only wish you Godspeed in your endeavor. Sincerely, Alan Gottlieb, Chairman, Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. Lee the Gunrider Williams. This will reach Bondi's desk if it hasn't already. And I believe there will be action, and I will not be shocked to find out that Allen has spoken to the Attorney General or someone within the executive branch. What about you?
I agree completely. He's such a nice guy, and I work for him. Great man, hell of a record. But you don't understand that when you're talking to him. You don't understand because he's so nice, he's so outgoing. How powerful of a man he is.
Yeah, he is.
And I hope Bondi. I'm sure Bondi knows that. I'm sure that she had somebody run him down if she doesn't know him already.
Yeah, she does.
And I think this is going to be good. I think
you know,
this is going to be really good.
Yeah, we also know that that Allen was at Mar-a-Lago on more than one occasion. He has attended White House Christmas parties, etc. Okay, he has always had a relationship with the White House when it's a friendly White House, and this case, ladies and gentlemen, is no different. I say this case meaning the Trump White House in this term is no different. So, you know, we're there. Okay, because Allen represents all of us. If you're not a member of SAF, this is a great plug to join the Second Amendment Foundation and the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. As you heard from the letter, members and affiliates and associates in all 50 states, both organizations, doing tremendous work on your behalf. Now, let's just take a breakdown of these states. California. Who controls California? That's Democrats. Colorado. That's Democrats. Connecticut. That's Democrats. Hawaii, Democrats. Illinois, Democrats. Maryland, Democrats. Massachusetts, Democrats. New Jersey, Democrats. New Mexico, Democrats. New York, Democrats. Oregon, Democrats. And Washington, Democrat, 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 Democrat across the board. What party wants your guns? Democrat Party wants your guns. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. They hate you, and you already know that. But if you live in any of those states, I'm telling you that the best I can... Lee, the cavalry is out there. Hopefully there's a charge soon. Bondi has personally said that she is going to be looking into Second Amendment rights violations in these states. So I'm hopeful.
Well, and look what she's doing with the people that are destroying the Teslas because of Elon. Mm-hmm. Okay, she's going after the one guy that just got for 40 years. And she said flat out, yeah, we're not going to make any deals on his sentence. That dumb person who bombed a Tesla dealership is going to do 40 years in a federal prison, and good for her. I think she's going to do well, bro.
40,
I really do.
40 years is a long time, dude. Okay,
30.
It is.
40 years is a long time to be sitting soaking it up in a slammer, and there's a reason they call it that. 40 years, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's still not enough time. Throw the key.
You know, the dude was wearing blue lipstick in his mugshot. So
no, yeah, good. Blue lipstick. He can wear that in prison. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Armed American Radio will be back right after the break. We're being told now we've got 30 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that now, I think, because we've been running our gators. There it is. We'll be back with Lee the Gunwriter Williams. More to talk about. There always is. They just keep handing it to us on a platter every single day, ladies and gentlemen. They never, ever, ever give up. Armed American Radio's Daily Defense continues right after this. We'll see you on the flip side of the break. Don't go away.
Again,
Daniel Defense firearms are guaranteed for life.
fascist book strikes again.
Engineered and manufactured right here in America. Daniel Defense, freedom, passion, precision.
Yeah, Daniel Defense is freedom, passion, and precision, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Armed American Radio, Sig Sauer Studios, Daniel Defense, North American Arms, Car Arms Studios. These companies are the real deal. Support them. If you don't have any of their products, you're missing the boat. I've got all their products, not all of their products. I wish I had all of their products, but I have products from all of them, and they are all top notch, every single one of them. If you've never squeezed the trigger on a car pistol, you're missing out. One of the best trigger actions available on the market is from Car. Great products. And, of course, Daniel Defense, the new H9 pistol. Make sure to check that out. Welcome back in, guys. Remember, it's all being brought to you by the great X Insurance. And if you want to talk on the same microphone I do, you can use your iPhone or whatever phone you got and call it your own microphone, because this is a Patriot Mobile phone. PatriotMobile.com/AAR. Support these companies that support this voice, support this program, and support you and your gun rights. It is critical that we all work together. I mean, you cannot even stress how much it is, how important it is, particularly if you live in one of those Democrat-controlled states I just mentioned that Alan outlined for Bondi to go after, okay? And I can promise you that Patriot Mobile is in those states, and they're working on your behalf. So support them. It's real simple. Just flip a phone over, or all your phones, whatever you want to do, just like I'm doing. Got a couple of them now. You can do the same thing. PatriotMobile.com/AAR. Lee, the Gunwriter Williams, welcome back in, my brother. Let's keep this conversation going. So did you want to put an exclamation point on any of that about Gottlieb and those blue states that we've been warning people about in the Trump administration?
Yeah, I would just suggest that everybody read the letter for themselves. It is the perfect letter to an elected official. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. You model one yourself after it, ladies and gentlemen. So, Lee, tell me quickly about the New York Times' latest anti-gun hit piece, which was brutal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Every single paragraph. Now, you got to understand the way it started.
You could believe it. I know you could. I know you.
Print journalism was pretty simple. I mean, when I used to do it, you write news or you write opinion. But now the reporters are just throwing in their opinion, and it's just crazy. Glenn Thrush, New York Times reporter, wrote it last week. It appeared in the New York Times. And this guy, I looked him up in his bio. Mm-hmm. He said his most fulfilling assignment was writing obituaries. I am not
He said
kidding.
that?
Yeah. I mean,
okay. Hold on. Let's tackle that for a second. Let's go there for a second. That seems pretty morbid to me.
Yeah, I've known a couple guys that did nothing but write obits, and they're no one you would want to be alone with in a darkened room. Trust me.
Isn't an obituary essentially written by the family or survivors?
Yeah,
and given
the small
to
ones are, but the New York Times and my old newspaper would find somebody, and then they would go ahead and write one, and somebody who had a pretty big role in life. Let's just say that.
Why would you? I'm just curious. Why do you suppose that he would find something like that rewarding? I'm asking for a friend, I guess.
Because he's odd and strange, and should go back to writing obits, because he can't do hard news. I mean, he wrote, the story was called Trump Administration to Roll Back Array of Gun Control Measures. And then he had to add, to stem the flood of unregulated semi-automatic handguns and rifles. Now, you understand, this is a gun story in a major newspaper, the second largest newspaper in the country. So anything goes nowadays, man. They throw all this crap in there they want. And there's no editor at the New York Times that's going to say, hey, that's not fair, or, you shouldn't have done that, because it's an anti-gun story. And boy, he put that to the test. Let me tell you.
One of his comments, and you point this out, I think I mentioned this the other day on one of the other shows, was, and I'll quote from you, if you look closely at Thrush's story, you'll find factual errors and anti-gun hyperbole in nearly every paragraph. For example, Thrush wrote that gun dealers stripped of the federal firearms licenses by Biden's crazy zero-tolerance policy were, quote, found to have repeatedly violated federal laws and regulations. Now, we know that to be a bunch of bullshit-taki mushrooms, because it is, because we know why, and you've reported on multiple occasions, Lee, what they were doing. Literally just swapping a letter out or putting a county where a city belonged or failing to cross a T or dot an I was costing people, 50 years of their legacy. And you and I talked about this, I think, last week, so we won't dwell on that. But, yeah, it's a garbage piece, ladies and gentlemen, but it's also fun to read because it's a garbage piece. So I would highly encourage you to do that. You can link to that, or you can read it because Lee has linked to it. And his piece at Armed American News is the New York Times' latest anti-gun news story. And believe me, there's a lot to talk about there. Oh, what a mess. So let's go over some other stories that I find interesting that are making some news. AWR wrote about some of these as well. Desperation, meaning Giffords. But Giffords is now claiming that Trump is working to protect gun CEO profits.
Yeah, I don't like everything that Giffords writes. I don't see any truth in that whatsoever. None whatsoever.
So, again, they write this stuff because they got nothing else. And
right.
if you look at the Democrats' attacks on Trump overall, Hakeem Jeffries, that a loser he is, and the rest of these Democrats, all a bunch of losers, all they're talking about is how Trump is giving your tax dollars to billionaires, which is a bogus, flat-out, bald-faced lie. Elon Musk pays more money in taxes, ladies and gentlemen, every year than you will earn in 3 lifetimes. So don't give me that crap. Those are people who don't understand business, and apparently most Democrats don't, because a lot of them fall for this nonsense. But it looks like they're taking the same tack here. Oh, let's just stay in line with the rest of the Democrats, and we'll just blame Trump now and claim he's going after, he's working to protect gun CEO profits. Good heavens.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would do that, bro. I mean, obviously it's a bunch of crap, but I mean, how would you even do that if you were Trump, if you wanted to? I just can't believe that they would even come out with crap like that.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do.
I mean,
you get it.
It's bad, bro.
Here's the tweet that Giffords put out. Gun violence is the #1 killer of kids and teens in America. That's been debunked, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of taking action to prevent senseless tragedies, the Trump administration created a special interest task force to protect gun CEO profits. Now, just for fun, I'm clicking over to that right now. Let's read some of the responses, and I'm doing this live in real time. Pew Mechanic writes in yesterday, "You just keep repeating this lie despite it being debunked. Are you people not smart enough to grasp how ridiculous your failed propaganda is, or are you hoping your supporters are too dumb to figure it out?" And Johnny Utah 27 writes in with a meme. "Clown license, clown school graduate, certified clowning credentials, expires never," with a cartoon photograph of a clown. It's a video. I'm afraid to play it because I don't know what's going to come out on a live mic. 2A guy writes in, "As opposed to Biden's special interest task force promoting the infringement of our constitutional rights, no, Lord, no, guns, no more guns, gone, Gabby Giffords." That's what she said. Now, I can't repeat what he said in the last line, but it's go blank. You can figure it out for yourself. But this is a quote from Gabby Giffords. No, Lord, no. Guns, no more guns, gone. That's from Gabby Giffords.
30.
So, Lee, I'll let you. Well, we're just getting ready to take a break. When we come back, I'll get your comments on that, because if I ask you if they want to take your guns, they will tell. If I ask them, they'll say no. But she just said, no, Lord, no. Guns, no more guns, gone. That's from Gabby Giffords, from Giffords Organization. Do they want to take your guns? Don't believe it. No one's coming to take your guns. Nobody wants your guns. Nobody's going to take your guns, you lunatic, radical gun activist, you. All you want to do is protect gun CEO profits. You just want people dead. You hate children. This is what they don't want your guns, ladies and gentlemen. No more guns, gone. That's from Gabby Giffords. One more segment with Lee. Don't go away.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15
This segment of Armed American Radio's Daily Defense is being brought to you by Daniel Defense. Visit DanielDefense.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Armed American Radio's Tuesday edition, Taco Tuesday edition, continues here in the 6 Hour Studios. Mark Walters filling your prescription for freedom today and every day here on Monday through Friday show on the Patriot Mobile microphone. All of it being brought to you by the great X Insurance. Make sure to check out all of our partners that support the show. You can support them. That's how we stay on the airwaves. And in exactly 11 days, we will be celebrating our 16th year on the nation's airwaves. A remarkable achievement, no question about it. Not easy to do in this environment. And I will be honest with you, I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing 6 days a week. Love bringing this show to you every single day and every single Sunday. And we've never missed a Sunday broadcast in all of those years. It's quite the run, and we're very proud of it. And we could not do it without our partners and you supporting them. So please continue to do so. All of them are great. Bud's Gun Shop is over there, our exclusive online retailer, budsgunshop.com. They've got great specials over there, lots of features. You can find that on the website. Check those features out, featured products, great discounts for you. budsgunshop.com, budsgunshop.com, heavensharvest.com, Crossbreed Holsters. All of them are over there. You can find them all, including barrelbuddy.com, barrelbuddy.com, and one of our favorite over there, Ammo Squared. Ammo Squared. Tomorrow I get my email saying, you've got ammo. And I look and see more ammo than I had yesterday, and it's fantastic. AmmoSquared.com. It's like a 401k for building your ammo supply, and I spend $15 a week, and I'm just constantly getting ammo. They'll just in my account. When I want it, they'll ship it. If I don't want it, they'll give me my money back. I can take a portion of it, whatever I want to do. It's all up to me. AmmoSquared.com. Check them out for stocking up your ammo supplies without even having to go anywhere to get it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, I tell you. Lee the Gunwriter Williams, welcome back, brother.
Good to be here.
So do they want our guns, Lee? No more guns, gone. Gabby Giffords, no more guns. No, no, no. Lord, no. Guns, guns, guns. Guns, no more guns, gone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure despite Gabby's inability to have a complete conversation, I'm pretty sure they want our guns, bro.
Yeah, I like this one from the Second Amendment, 2A. Gargle my parchment and gag upon my ink. You do not get to violate the right of the people to keep and bear arms. And then the next, well, this is on down the line, ladies and gentlemen, from this post they put up on X, formerly known as Twitter. Why do you keep lying to people? Here are the facts. The leading cause of death for children aged 0 to 18 in the United States is unintentional injuries, accidents, which include motor vehicle crashes, drownings, poisonings, and falls, among others. Based on the most recent CDC data, they just don't care. And then Cape Gun Works writes in, just because you say it often and loudly will never make it true. Why not be honest and talk about what will actually make our community safer without your anti-civil rights agenda? Come to the table ready to make a difference. You're on the wrong side of history. Yeah. And then Richard WP right below it. Yeah, 19-year-old teens that are gang-affiliated and failing to be prosecuted for rocking Glock switches. It's on and on and on. They just get hammered, yet they continue to put it out there. It's surprising that they throw it up there, Lee, continuously.
The ATF should be going after, instead of sitting around in their comfy offices waiting for people to bring them a case, they should be going after these Glock switches that are out there. That's their purview. But no, they don't want to deal with these gang members.
Yeah.
They're scared.
They're scared. They're scared. Stop spreading the lie, says Brian Doherty. 18, 19-year-olds are not children. And this is the only way you get those results you claim. Gun laws do nothing to stop gang members from killing each other. They don't care about laws because there are no serious consequences. And then John B. says, I'm sure that your security detail is well armed. Is that okay? I mean, just on and on and on. It's really fun to read this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to check it out. Let's cover something different. We got Washington State has just passed the state Senate. Lee, you lived in Washington for a couple of years, has just passed a bill mandating permit to purchase a firearm, which is, akin to a FOID card. Obviously, Colorado's done the same thing. Maryland has the same thing. Other states have the same thing. I believe eventually, maybe you think I'm right, or tell me if you think I'm right or wrong on this, but eventually those are going to go the way of the dodo bird once the court gets a hold of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, it takes us, our time, our people, our money to go to the Supreme Court, at least initially, to handle these damn lawsuits.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but this is, again, part of their overall strategy is to try to bankrupt their opposition. Well, it ain't going to work, folks, but they're trying.
Nope.
But they're trying. And let's not even consider how much tax money they waste. Burleson is going back kind of, let's pull a Jen Psaki here and go back to ATF briefly, because Burleson, a Republican, is all over getting rid of the ATF. And he was quoted as saying there's nothing radical about abolishing it.
I've seen his posts. He is spot on, my friends. He is spot on.
God,
and he's doing it every couple of hours. Yeah, every couple of hours he's out there.
Is he on to something?
Saying what needs to be said. I don't know. I'm more interested in what he's doing than why he's doing it, because nobody else is. Nobody else is throwing it out there, which is kind of sad.
I don't know. I do know, and I feel comfortable saying this, but I know that Cash would have wanted to have gotten rid of the ATF altogether.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't know what that it's going to require an act of Congress. I don't know how entwined that. I just don't know. It would be nice to see it. At the very least, you just defund that giant. It's that simple. Just defund it and remove the agents and put them somewhere else. And guess what? The ATF is a alphabet agency by name only, and it's completely neutered and ineffective. Can't do anything. So I guess there's always that, right?
Without a doubt. That agency needs to go. Right now, there are senior ATF people sitting around figuring out what their next drama is going to be, while they're ignoring what they should be looking at, which is gangsters armed with these Glock switches.
Well, they'll probably tell you that's what they do. I don't know. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, in Chicago, I saw the numbers yesterday. 15 more people shot in Chicago over the weekend, Friday into Sunday morning. And I remind you, and Lee, I'll remind you too, you already know this, but they don't stop killing each other on weekdays. We just cover the weekend numbers. You know, it doesn't stop Monday through Friday. Lee.
No, I haven't seen them take a weekend off for quite a while, brother.
Oh, yeah, they don't. Yeah. They're still working. Them criminal murderers are still working Monday through Fridays. I can tell you this, too. Tennessee's got an interesting bill. We'll probably talk about it tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. But a Tennessee bill is requiring autopsies, Lee, for mass killers to search for psychiatric drug links. Ooh.
Oh, I don't mind that at all.
No, nor do I. That's interesting. I want to look a little bit deeper into that and find out some more about it, but I think it's a great idea. And, well, you know, not surprised to see Tennessee take the lead in something like that. Lee, we're about done with the day. Now, I'm going to let you tell people where to find you, brother, because you're everywhere. Tell them where to go.
Well, you can go to my favorite site, your favorite site, armedamericannews.com or .org. You can go to thegunwriter.substack.com. But we prefer you go to saf.org, because everything I write is all over on saf.org.
Yeah, and as a true investigative journalist, ladies and gentlemen, Lee is the best at what he does. That's why he's over there doing the investigative journalism work for the Second Amendment Foundation. And you can join us. Join Alan Gottlieb, who is working tirelessly to restore the rights that have been infringed upon you. By who? Democrats. And we just named those states in that letter from Alan Gottlieb. But we're at the end of the rope today. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Armed American Radio's Daily Defense. He's going to get up and do it again tomorrow precisely because they don't want us to.
20.
So until we meet on the radio tomorrow, remember, carry on, carry often, carry absolutely everywhere. Never, ever, ever, ever leave your cave without your club. No self-respecting caveman would have ever been caught outside his cave without his club, because his cave wife wanted him home alive and feeding the family with his cave club. See you tomorrow on the radio, guys.
You've just filled your prescription for freedom with Mark Walters, presented by X Insurance. X Insurance on the Armed American Radio Network.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in with us today. Appreciate it very much. I don't know what was going on over at Facebook today. I got a live deal over there. I can see it live on the phone, but I don't see it on the webpage. I have no idea. They were kind of funky when we were setting up the live stream for you today on Facebook, but it's out there somewhere. I just don't know where. Maybe you had to get the notification, but regardless, set up your notifications to do that so you don't miss the show. And make sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform and never miss an episode of the live national radio show. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. We'll see you mañana on Garbage Day at the Ranch. Stay safe until we meet on the radio tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for tuning in.